My video for January the 14th, 2019 is video number 2965. The title is a question: will 2019 be a year of positive change? As I entered the new year, 2019, I had come through a very frustrating holiday season. In fact, one could say I've been frustrated ever since positive change did not arrive as expected in 2011 or 2012. Because of those expectations, I thought maybe Obama would bring the hoped for changes. Obviously not. He was even worse than the Bush and Clinton regimes that preceded him. Many in the spiritual community in my area shun any political conversation. Of course, this puts me at odds with a lot of my friends. I do not separate politics and religion from discussion. In fact, those are the two most important subjects we must deal with, since they are the very subjects where we have been manipulated by those with an evil agenda of total mind control. While I'd like to see Donald Trump actually drain the swamp as he promised, I realized what he is up against. The cabal is deeply entrenched in our culture. Ironically, it is pretty much the Muslim nations that resist the cabal, which is why the West has attacked them and turned so many into terrorists. Terrorism is war, and dividing the world into us and them camps is the diabolical plan. Peace is simply not profitable for these dark minions. I know this, but many do not. Can we expect some kind of reinforcement that will help humanity turn the page? I continue to struggle, trying to see glimpses of hope. That's why I made 4 videos on what's happening in Gitmo and all the sealed indictments and people that in high places, I hope, that are being exposed and brought down. I see that there might be another chance for Trump to appoint another, what do you call it? The courts, the Supreme Court, another Supreme Court justice that Ruth Ginsburg apparently is either dying or has already died. Depends on who you want to believe. And I don't know that I believe anybody, because there's such a mix of information and so much of it is contradicting itself. You know, this group contradicts that group and everybody claims to be the right one. And I got criticized in one of my recent videos by somebody that said, I liked what you were saying until you said that the problem is God isn't taking responsibility and that people are believing the Bible. Well, I believe the Bible, as I've said so many times, and read it through probably more than most people on earth. Well, certainly more than most people on earth, but probably even more than a lot of people that are Christians or use the label Christian. The thing that's wrong with that is that it's been manipulated into us and them camps. We are the right ones. That's self-righteousness. That is the worst and most abominable of all the sins, because it's the one that blinds us to blinds us and keeps us from the ability to actually reach out and love one another. And at first, we need to start with communication. I know you've heard me say that again and again and again, if you've listened over a period of time to my videos. And as I said, when I started making the videos on January the 11th, 2011, 1/11/11, I believed that year was going to be the year that was going to bring these positive changes, because some had said that there was a mistake in the calendar and that it was actually 2012. Well, some have said that the calendar is even more messed up than just 1 year off. But in any case, I thought, well, if didn't happen in 2011. Maybe they were wrong, and 2012 will be the actual unfolding of all of this, all of these promises, and we'll experience the kingdom of heaven on earth. Again, I do not believe that we're supposed to die to get to heaven. I believe heaven is supposed to come to us and liberate us from the lies, from the manipulation of our minds through much of it through the monetary system. But where do you point the finger? That is an us and them also. But I don't know how to get out of that us and them, because these people seem to have a completely different value system that is perverted and inverted, so that up is down and down is up and good is bad and bad is good. And, you know, it's crazy. How do we get out of this conundrum that we find ourselves in as human beings, as humanity? I'd like to be able, and as I've said in other videos, to not just to build bridges, which I've tried to do in the spiritual community, but as soon as it turns to a political thing, somebody within the group tries to squash it and put it down and say, you're not allowed to talk about that. And people's opinions are hurt because we are so unwilling to listen to one another. And how can we love if we can't listen? These are things that I face as the dilemma, not just mine, but for all of us. We need to experience change that not that we can believe in, but that we can actually witness and participate in. Participation. That's the whole point of it, isn't it? So that we can participate in bringing heaven to earth, that we can participate in healing those that lose their way, and reaching out, not in judgment, not trying to convert them to my religion is better than your religion. No. And I'm not saying Islam is better than other religions either. It has its foibles, just like Judaism, just like Christianity, just like Hinduism, just like Buddhism, and just like atheism. They're all manipulated for control of the people. And somehow, I pray that 2019 will be a year when we experience a breakthrough, when we experience a reinforcement of the good qualities in humanity, so that we can literally turn the page to a whole new system of living that produces a world of peace where people love one another. I know, Ron, you're a dreamer. I can hear the protests. And I hear the protests of people that, when I talk about that there's chemtrails in the sky. Somebody just within the past day said, no, I don't believe that there's any such thing. That's disinformation. That's what I was told. Did I argue? No, there's no point in arguing. It was in a public arena, and there's no point in arguing. Okay, that's what this individual believes. And the individual is, I don't think they're a bad person. Most of us are not bad people, but some of us seem to be. And I wish that could get sorted out so that we could actually grow up as a positive humanity instead of being manipulated into the most negative aspects of our humanity. Will that happen in my lifetime? I hope so. Will it happen in 2019? I don't know, but I hope so. Thank you for listening, and namaste.